Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of why do we fear what we don't have? I mean, if you really think about it, if we don't have it, why would we fear it? Well, I think a lot of things come from the fact that even though we don't like to admit it, there's a lot of things that in life we don't like to think about, such as death, such as being homeless or being sick and stuff like that. I think that at some point in our very young age, as kids or babies or whatever, we unconsciously realize that life is very precious and that the things that we have in our life, we shouldn't take them for granted. And if we do take things for granted, then basically we do have a problem, because then we think that we are entitled to these things. So I think that there are definitely people who don't have as much that fear as some other people. So some people, maybe luck of the draw, whatever it is, they're born in a good family, they never lose anyone for many years, they have everything they want, and maybe they don't really understand that if something's lost, if, for example, even just the mere fact of not being able to have enough nutrition in a day, they're screwed. And probably they had good health and all that, so they don't realize that. But I think the more you live through life, the older you get, the more experiences you have, the more you realize, rich, poor, whatever you are, even if you have the best luck of all time, if you live long enough, you will experience loss. It's just inevitable. It's just something that will happen. It's just something that you can't control. And I think at that point, you fear losing the things you don't even have. Because I think that the whole premise of life is basically the fact that we are so fragile. We are not infinite. Our life ends after a certain amount of time. You have only a set amount of days. You don't think about it too much. You kind of keep on living life. But it's special. Life is special. So you realize that you only have a finite amount of time to achieve things, a finite amount of time to get things if you want to have possessions, and you realize that there's fear that you could also never get them. For example, you want to buy a house. Well, the house is expensive. Even if you have to put 20% down on the house, you still have to be able to keep up with the mortgage, the taxes, repairs, bills, all that stuff. So you probably have that fear, or people have the fear in general, that even though they're working really hard, time is slipping by, the less chance they will have at buying that house or buying that dream house. So maybe that dream, or maybe that goal, if you prefer the word goal, will never be achieved. And that's where fears come. Because also, for example, everybody has parents and stuff like that, or loved ones, if they're not biological parents, but we'll call it family. And I think the more you progress in life, the more you also want to help these people out, or be a positive person within their life. And sometimes that takes money. Not always just money, but it also takes commitment and stuff. And sometimes you feel that as time passes by, you're not able to reach these goals, that they're getting older, you're getting older, and the chances that you have of being able to give them the things you want, sometimes you realize that maybe it might not happen, or you have that urgency because you're like, yes, I need to make that happen no matter what. And the more you age, the more I think that urgency can happen. And definitely I feel it, and I think I'm not the only one. So that's why we have that fear of the things that we don't even have, because they are potentials. They are levels of life that we can have, that we can get, that are possible to achieve. Yet because we have this thing called time, sometimes luck, genetics, whatever you want to call it, some things are just not going to be able to be achieved. And I think that's why we have to also realize that we have to, you know how they say, give thanks to the things that you have, because while we're trying to reach some goals, or we're trying to get to a certain level, or buy that dream house, or have a family with 3 kids, or whatever you want to have, or get that car that you want, or that trip that you've always dreamt of, we sometimes get lost and get depressed because we haven't achieved that, or we look at a person in front of us, or an acquaintance or friend or whatever we have, and they've done so many more things. But then we sometimes forget that no matter what, we've achieved stuff, because the older you get, the more you live on this earth, the more you basically achieve. If you're still walking and have a job and are healthy or semi-healthy or whatever, you've achieved stuff, and you've managed to create things. And sometimes because we've already done them and we've already achieved these things, we don't really realize that maybe already the level that we're at, maybe the place that we're at, maybe the things we've achieved, what we've built for our life is already amazing. And I'm sure that everybody has different sets of skills and different sets of things, be it just having, graduated from college, or being able to just stand on your own 2 feet, or just enjoy once in a while a spa or a massage, or you do the things that you like. Those are also goals that you have achieved and that you've reached in your life. So sometimes it's good to have that urgency in a way. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's good to have the urgency of wanting these things that we don't have, because it sets goals. But then at the same time, I think we shouldn't get depressed at the fact that we haven't gotten them, or that we might never get things. Because no matter how full you are, no matter how successful someone is, in reality, you will never achieve everything that's possible. You'll never experience every single thing in the world. It's just not possible. There's just too many things. You'd have to live millions and millions of lives to be able to unravel the whole depth of the earth and have every experience. Because one thing people forget too is that we want to experience a lot of things and everything possible in this world, but there's also bad things to experience. So if you want to experience everything, then you got to experience the good with the bad. But I don't think people want to get shot at, or people want to get sick, or people want to have bad experiences. So we actually technically want to basically experience all the good things of this world and not actually experience everything. So I think what we need to do is, since we know that time is finite, that health is finite, and that happiness is not always there, we have to take these moments and not waste time, and basically try to achieve as much as you can within the moment now. Whatever you have, whatever set of cards you have been dealt in this life, you have to do the best out of it. Not think, oh, I will do this once I am better at this, or I'm better at that. No, just do. Because the thing and the reality is that you don't know how much time you have, and you don't know if you will ever achieve that thing. So if you have something you want to do, if you have something that you like, that you're passionate about, just do it. Okay, have a great day, and I will Talk to you soon.